introduced to Brad from my dad. So Brad helped my dad get his house. And then he was like, when I first started looking into the process, I thought I was trying to get a house in Pennsylvania. I was looking at another company and it was horrible. Like literally I told them how much I made and then they told me they were going to pre-approve me for like 238,000 and then the next day they called me and they're like we can only approve you for like less than 100,000 and I was like crying cuz I'm like what are you talking about? And my dad's like, "Well, why don't you, like reach out to my company for Reliance First Capital. Brad's amazing. He's the best." And he literally told him to say that too. He was like, "Make sure you say to Brad, he's the best." And he was like chuckling. And I said, "Okay, let me reach out to him." And Brad was just awesome. He was so attentive. He was so sweet, so kind. Like I didn't know anything what I was doing. Like he explained all the words of like mortgage PMI, what that is, the whole process of like buying a house. And the thing too, what was so cool about Brad is that like, I call Brad and be like, "I fell in love with the house." And he's like, "Listen, do not fall in love with the house until they accepted your offer," because that's what happened to me. And I was so distraught because I fell in love with the house. And I called him and he was like, "Listen, that's not your house. There's a better one out there." Like, he was just so, like, he just goes over and beyond for people. And what I like about Brad as well is that Brad's the kind of person is that, like, he's not just trying to do this to, like, make money. It's like he really wants you to find a good house or, like, help you with refinancing. Like, he was telling me, like, all these cool stories. And that's what I love about Brad because he's just so genuinely such a good guy and so good at what he does. Because, he even told me, he said, "Listen, you don't want to be house rich and poor." You know what I mean? Like you need to get a house that you can afford, but also, that's in your budget. And I don't know. I can't say enough good things about Brad. I love him. I literally, like, I called him and he's so attentive too. Like I would text him. I had to leave one voice the one time. He called me back within like 2 minutes, like so much better than any other company I've ever worked with. If it wasn't for Brad, um, my parents wouldn't have their house and I wouldn't have my house. Um, and I'm just forever grateful. Like, I don't know, I think I texted him and said, like, "Thank you a million," or something like that. Like, I just I don't know, he's just some people have a job and they do that job, but there are other people that literally, like, embody their job. They become their job and they want to genuinely help people. And when I think of Brad, he's one of those people. He's somebody that literally would sit down with anyone, didn't matter what education you had in the sense of like knowing about the mortgage process, and he'll literally sit down and he'll explain every single thing, and he's so genuinely happy to explain it. He's like, "Thank you so much for asking me, like, what does PMI mean? What does escrow mean?" Because he wants you to be as educated as possible because he knows that this is a big step, like buying a house is a big thing, and he wants you to know what you're getting yourself into. So I just love that he's not the kind of person where you're not just another number. Like he genuinely makes a connection with you. And I don't know, he's just the best. Like Brad is the best. Like basically I kind of become like a friend. It wasn't just a business transaction. It was like a personal, interpersonal, a lot of rapport was built, like a long lasting relationship where like you want to recommend them to people because they're going to help. Like he was just amazing. Like I love Brad. He's the best. I told everyone, I said, "Listen, if you ever want a house, you need to refinance any of that stuff." I said, "Go through Reliance First Capital. If they work for your state, you need to do that because they're the best."